Welcome to Memphis Mansion. I'm Henrik Knudsen. I'm going to show you a little bit of our tribute, not only to the king of rock and roll, but also to one of our favorite towns outside of Randers. It's actually our home away from home. But come with me. Like you see, we have here the music gates. We have Elvis in the speakers. When people park their car here, it's early in the morning right now, so there's only us at this point. But when people park their car, they walk through the gates, they listen to the king of rock and roll, and then they walk up to the mansion. And the walk up is also an experience, not only because of Elvis, but walking through the gates. And you get the excitement, you listen to Elvis, and in a little bit you will see on my left side that we walk by Elvis's birthplace. Of course it's in Tupelo, Mississippi, and you all know that. But we made a replica of it to show the audience what Elvis came from and what made him so big. And it's another part of Elvis history that you can only see here in Randers, Denmark. I said earlier that this is the only place in the world you can experience this. Of course, the original building, the original birthplace is in Tupelo, Mississippi. But this is the only place in the world where you can be and see part of his early history and see the place where he lived until he died. Of course, we had to have Elvis with us here too, so we had a statue made of the king. And he's standing here every day. Sometimes we even have snow and it rains like it's been raining this morning. But you know what? He's a tough guy and he can handle it. The king of rock and roll. We are proud of presenting him with this statue and promoting Elvis and Memphis with him here at Memphis Mansion. You probably saw it when I was at the Tupelo house, or our version of the Tupelo house. There was a few spiders behind me. It's not normally that we have this size of spiders in Randers, Denmark. It's of course Halloween here, and don't get too scared when you see the front of our building, because there's a few ghosts, but they are friendly ghosts, I've been told. As you see, our house is very much inspired by the way of building houses and of course Graceland in Memphis. We don't claim that it's accurate a copy, it's inspired by the house in Memphis, and it's our tribute to Memphis and Elvis. We're now in the basement of Memphis Mansion, and it's here that we have our museum. Our collection, Elvis collection, is rated one of the 10 biggest in the world. And I would like to show you a little bit of what we got. So, hang on. The first item I would like to show you is actually has a lot of Memphis history. It's with these 4 cats. Johnny Cash, Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Elvis Presley. And obviously, I know you know the story. They met the 4th of December 1956, and they did a jam session that later was got the famous name, the $1 Million Quartet session. And the only surviving tape actually comes from this gentleman, Mr. Jerry Lee Lewis. And we have it right here on display at Memphis Mansion in Denmark, and we're pretty proud to have something as legendary as this recording right here on display at Memphis Mansion. And right here, we do not only have royalty out of rock and roll history, we actually also have Danish royalty. On this picture that is taken in June 1960, at Paramount Studio in Los Angeles, Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, meet our today queen, the Danish queen of Denmark, Margrethe, and also the Norwegian princess Astrid, and to the right you see the Swedish princess Margrethe. And when I'm kidding around here at the museum, I normally say that was when the queen met the king. We do not only try to tell the story about the king, Elvis Presley, from items that have belonged to him or been part of his career. We also want to tell the story, like tell the story in words. How did he create his? How did he go from a truck driver to be the king of rock and roll? How important was Memphis for Elvis? He went to Hume's High School, and we know that he loved Memphis. And some of the most important recordings he did at all was the early stuff at Sun, and later on when he came back and did the Suspicious Mind sessions. We all know that. But we also tell the story about getting married with Priscilla Presley, which is very important for us, and also when Priscilla gave birth to their only child, Lisa Marie Presley. Over the years I've done a lot of shows, luckily not where I'm singing, because I'm really bad at singing, but where I invite some of Elvis's musicians, sometimes some of his backup singers, and sometimes I combine the American musicians, the Memphis musicians, together with Danish artists and make a project out of this. In 2005 I did a tour in Denmark with the guys who's photographed next to Elvis here, the Memphis Boys. I brought them to Denmark, and Mike Leach, the bass player of Memphis Boys, when he saw our exhibition, he was so excited. He thought, this is crazy, an Elvis museum all the way in Denmark. And he wanted to support me, and he gave me this bass that Elvis used at the session when they recorded not only Kentucky Rain, but also In the Ghetto, Don't Cry Daddy, and one of my favorite songs with Elvis, Suspicious Minds. Here we have a small theater where we show a documentary about Elvis, and every day somebody is here. It could be school kids, it could be people, it could be companies who are here to have a party or something like that, and they all will get introduced to Elvis Presley and the music from Memphis. And now we're in our merchandise store. Our merchandise stores have more than 6,000 different items of Elvis. A lot of records from all over the world, but also t-shirts and a lot of merchandise. We have our website, memphismansion.com. Last year we had 2.7 million people looking at that website. First floor at Memphis Mansion is kind of our conference room. It's a place where businesses have meetings, we have weddings, we have anniversaries, we have all kinds of events happening at the first floor. And last year, out of 365 days, yes, we are open every day of the year, we had 245 bookings for this location. That's about 5 times per week, and that's, I think, is pretty good for this type of business. Right now I'm sitting in our diner, and our diner's name is Highway 51, and I'll let you guess what that means and what that stands for. But our diner serves a lot of great American cuisine. We have our Memphis Soul Burgers, and we have a lot of dishes that are named after Memphis. And this place actually is a big tribute as well to Memphis. And when I miss Memphis too much, I always hang out here, so it gives me a little bit peace of mind. Our diner, Highway 51. So my Memphis family, this was Memphis Mansion in Randers, Denmark. And with that, I want to say thank you very much for visiting us. I hope to see you here in Denmark one day.